This is it. The last Arkham game to do a Should You Platinum on, and what a better time to talk about games on Halloween night than in the month of Halloween. And after this we've got a short wait till we see our next Batman themed game with Gotham Knights, and boy am I prepared to spend weeks on that. I think it's very safe to say that the Arkham series is one of, if not my favourite gaming series. I mean, I'm a huge Batman fan anyway. I love reading the comics, I'm a fan of all the movies, even if some of them aren't considered all that good, and I'm excited to see what Robert Pattinson will bring to the role next.
I'm vengeance.
But we're not here to talk about Batterson, Batfleck or Batnipples, we're here to talk about Batman Arkham Knight, a game made by Rocksteady. When this title was released in 2015, it was hyped to the heavens and back. After all, it's the game that claims to tell us
how the Batman died.
It was the game to finalise the Arkham franchise, and everyone including myself was excited to see what Rocksteady had in store for us. And for years prior, fans were asking, where's the Batmobile? When do we get to drive the Batmobile? And Arkham Knight said, we'll do you one better. You can drive the Batmobile in a fully destructible Gotham. Which is great and all until a freaking cannon pops out and starts blasting people left and right.
No guns, no killing.
The concept of the game is very simple. Rocksteady needed Gotham to be completely devoid of civilians so the player couldn't just clap any innocent that they wanted to, so enter the Scarecrow and the Arkham Knight, the brand new character that was created just for this game. They tell Gotham to evacuate, or else. There was a lot of mystery behind this character before the game was released, and everyone had their theories. Some thought it was going to be Damian Wayne, others thought it was Joker back from the grave. But if you've ever read a Batman comic before, you already damn well know who it was, so every Batman fan was watching this scene like,
You really have no idea, do you, Bruce?
I knew it!
Having said that though, I enjoyed watching the interactions between Batman and the Arkham Knight, since it's the first time that many people would have seen Batman vulnerable and not one step ahead of the bad guy, as the Arkham Knight displays himself as a true adversary of Batman.
Oh, and avoid the bat symbol. It's a little trick. It's where his armor's the strongest. Aim for the weak spots at the shoulders first, then coordinate fire at the points where the plates meet.
The game contains some great moments, some are even heart-wrenching to help motivate you through the story. We even get to see some flashbacks from the Batman storylines that weren't touched upon before in the Arkham series, like the Killing Joke and Death in the Family, to show the turmoil that Batman went through to get to this point. And if you think that's already too much for the Caped Crusader to deal with in one night, there's also the rest of Gotham's most wanted criminals to deal with.
It started with a meeting. Everyone was there. Scarecrow said he had a plan, that together we could take you out. And Gotham would be ours.
All the legendary villains that we know and love, the Penguin, Riddler, Two-Face, they've all joined forces for one night to take out the Batman. Except, that's not true. Because they've all split themselves up into separate side missions and commit their own standalone crimes until their inevitable incarcerations. I mean, the only one who seemed like they put any effort into their crime anyway was the Riddler. His was probably the most fun and interesting as you have to save Catwoman from a saw-like death trap.
Collect every key and the kitty goes free. Remove it too soon and the kitty goes boom!
Whilst also overcoming your own challenges like racing your car through the sewers of Gotham. Yeah, I don't know why either. And also we have to go back to collecting every single Riddler trophy on the map again.
I'm big! Ah!
Even though I think collecting Riddler trophies is a massive ball ache and probably something that I've spent the most time doing ever, this time it has the ultimate payoff since if you collect enough of the trophies you get to fight Riddler head on in your final brawl together. And haven't you wanted to finally put him in his place after all these years of constant whinging and whining down your ear? I think Arkham Knight has perfectly dished out the right amount of villains into its game. Not only do you have to go against the high-end villains like Two-Face and Penguin, but we get to go head-to-head with the other less-known characters like Firefly, Deacon Blackfire, and...
What the hell is even that?
Once you've finished the game and locked up all of Batman's adversaries, there's still the job of cleaning up the streets from Arkham Knight's militia, which I personally thought was the most annoying and boring thing to do in the whole game. I'd take having to find 1,000 more Riddler trophies and doing the militia missions again. But again, there's a payoff to doing all that, since if you 100% the game, you get to see the secret ending. I've got to say, there's a lot of trophies here, probably more than the other two titles. A lot of them you'll be doing anyway, like upgrading gadgets and completing missions, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about the trophies that don't seem to be getting much completion rate. And straight out the bat I see that the challenge maps have returned, but this time they're called AR missions. They don't seem as grueling as the last few games, you don't even have to play every single map either, since you only have to get a collective of 69 stars total.
69 stars.
Playing the AR missions is a good way to wipe out the Blunt Trauma and Brutality 101 trophies, which asks you to perform every Predator takedown and perform 15 combat moves in one free flow. Now, if you played any of the other Batman games and got the Platinum Trophy for them, you would probably recognise the free flow trophy. And I will say this time around, I felt this was the easiest one to get out of them all, since Batman plays a lot faster this time around and has a lot more moves and gadgets to choose from, so it's not a case of doing every single move. Also, a quick tip, I'd recommend playing a challenge map that lets you control 2 people, since the dual takedown also counts as a move. And with the Blunt Trauma trophy, I just replayed the same map over and over again using different takedowns with a list in front of me so I could tick off the ones I've already done. There's also quite a few trophies involving everyone's favourite tank, including driving up 8 ramps around Gotham and catching air for 100 metres each, which again, you can have a tick list in front of you so you know how many you've done. There's quite a lot of cheating you can do with some of the Batmobile trophies. For example, you're asked to achieve 5 perfect shots on tanks in a row with a Vulcan cannon without taking damage, and instead of fighting tanks that can fight back, you can use a training challenge at the start and do it on static ones. Another example is a trophy that asks you to rack up 3 minutes of drift time, and just like the Days Gone trophy, you can execute the old trick of putting your analog sticks together and doing donuts.
Donut.
There's also a New Game Plus that you have to finish the story with. All the Riddler trophies that you've collected in the previous playthrough will go through to your New Game Plus, so if you've got them all, you can seamlessly go through his side mission from beginning to end, including his boss battle. You don't have to, but you can. Overall, I really enjoyed the game, and of course I'm going to say that because I'm a huge Batman fan, but I think there's still fun to be had by non-superhero fans as well. I can see where people's negativity comes from involving the Batmobile, since there does sometimes seem to be too much involvement in the game, especially in terms of shooting guns from it. And I've said before that Arkham City is my favourite out of the games, but that's not to say that Arkham Knight doesn't improve on what's come before. The combat feels a lot slicker and faster, especially with the new addition that you can fight alongside and fight as Robin, Nightwing and Catwoman. I didn't really come across some of the problems that I had with the previous games, like Batman punching the air for no reason, but did seem to get a little concerned on how close to the line Batman's playing with this no killing rule. I was only disappointed that some of Batman's primary villains had to take a step back into side mission roles rather than take part in the actual main story, but other than that, I don't have much to say bad about the game. As far as getting the Platinum Trophy goes, I would say this game makes you do a lot more to achieve it compared to the other 2 games, but nothing all that difficult that would stop you from getting it. And as I said before, the only thing that I personally thought was a pain in the ass was mopping up the militia activities after the game had ended. I just felt like it dragged on just a little bit too much. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And why not click the bell as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm not a child or anything, but if I got evacuated on the bus after that one, I don't think I'd ever stop talking about it.